Are the Cowboys about to shock the entire NFL by signing 6 star players in free agency? That's the rumor exploding right now. And if it's true, Dallas isn't just reloading. They're going all in. Some fans are calling it a Super Bowl power move. Others are warning this could completely destroy the salary cap and mortgage the future. So what's the real plan here? Are the Cowboys building a dynasty roster overnight, or setting themselves up for a massive financial mistake? One key detail about these potential signings could determine whether this becomes genius or disaster. Breaking news out of Dallas and Cowboys Nation: you are not going to believe what is happening right now because reports are heating up that the Dallas Cowboys are aggressively targeting not 1, not 2, but 6 star players in free agency, and the big question everyone is asking is simple. Is this finally the all-in move we've been waiting for, or is this another risky gamble that could backfire in a massive way? The energy around this team feels different. After another season that ended with more questions than answers, the front office knows the pressure is at an all-time high. Fans are tired of hearing about potential. They want results. They want playoff dominance. They want a Super Bowl run. And now the Cowboys are being linked to 6 high-impact names who could instantly change the trajectory of this franchise. Let's break this down carefully because this is not just about signing big names. This is about roster construction, cap management, locker room chemistry, and whether this team is truly 1 or 2 pieces away, or if it needs a deeper reset. The first major target being discussed is a star cornerback. Dallas already has elite talent in the secondary, but the idea of pairing another lockdown defender on the outside would give this defense terrifying potential. Imagine opposing quarterbacks trying to throw against 2 elite corners with a relentless pass rush collapsing the pocket. That changes everything. Defensive coordinators around the league would have nightmares preparing for this unit. But here's the catch. Top corners cost serious money. Are the Cowboys willing to commit long-term dollars to a position where they already have premium contracts? The second name circulating is a dominant defensive tackle, a true run-stuffer who can also collapse the pocket from the interior. This is something Dallas has lacked in key playoff moments. When the games get physical and the weather turns cold, you need interior dominance. You need someone who can stop the run on 3rd and short and push the quarterback off his spot. If the Cowboys land this type of player, it immediately strengthens their biggest weakness. But again, these players don't come cheap, and interior defensive linemen are in high demand. Now, let's talk about offense because this is where things get really interesting. There are rumors that Dallas is targeting a Pro Bowl wide receiver to complement CeeDee Lamb. Think about that for a second. Lamb already commands double coverage. If you add another star receiver on the opposite side, defenses can't cheat. They can't roll coverage one way. Dak Prescott would have his most dangerous weapon set since his early career. The offense would open up in ways we haven't seen in years. The running game benefits. The tight ends benefit. The entire scheme becomes more explosive. But here's the debate. Is wide receiver really the biggest need? Some fans argue the Cowboys should invest that money in the offensive line. Protect Dak first, build the trenches, make sure the quarterback stays upright in December and January. And that brings us to another rumored target, a veteran offensive lineman with playoff experience. Adding a proven protector could stabilize the front 5 and bring leadership to a young unit that has struggled with consistency. Championships are won in the trenches, and Dallas knows that better than anyone. The 5th potential signing being discussed is a dynamic running back. With the backfield situation evolving and questions surrounding long-term production, the Cowboys might be looking for a dual-threat option who can catch passes out of the backfield and keep defenses guessing. In today's NFL, versatility is everything. If you can line up in multiple formations and force mismatches, you control tempo. A star running back could reduce pressure on Dak and keep the offense balanced. And then there's the 6th name, possibly the most controversial of them all, a veteran pass rusher. Some fans will say, why add another edge rusher when you already have elite talent? But depth wins championships. Injuries happen, rotations matter. And if you can constantly send fresh pass rushers at opposing quarterbacks, especially in the playoffs, you tilt the field in your favor. The Eagles built their success on overwhelming defensive lines. The 49ers did the same. The Cowboys may be trying to follow that blueprint, so is signing 6-star players actually realistic? Financially, it's complicated. The salary cap forces tough decisions. Contracts would need restructuring. Veterans might have to be released. Draft picks might become even more critical because young, affordable talent balances expensive free agents. The front office would have to be aggressive and creative. But we've seen teams manipulate the cap before. It can be done if ownership is fully committed. The bigger question is whether this strategy works long-term. Free agency splashes generate headlines. They create hype. They win the off-season. But do they guarantee playoff success? Not necessarily. Chemistry matters. Culture matters. You can't just assemble talent like a fantasy football roster and expect instant results. Players need to buy in. They need to accept roles. They need to sacrifice individual stats for team success. At the same time, standing still is not an option. The NFC is loaded. The Eagles are aggressive. The 49ers reload every year. The Lions are rising fast. If Dallas wants to compete at the highest level, they can't rely solely on internal development. They need impact players who can deliver immediately. Think about what this would mean for Dak Prescott. The narrative around him has been relentless. Critics question whether he can carry a team deep into the playoffs. Supporters argue he hasn't always had the complete supporting cast in crucial moments. Let's imagine the best-case scenario. The Cowboys land a star corner, a dominant defensive tackle, a Pro Bowl wide receiver, a veteran offensive lineman, a versatile running back, and a rotational pass rusher. Suddenly, this roster looks complete, balanced, deep, explosive. Defensive coordinators struggle to find weaknesses. Offensive coordinators can't exploit mismatches. Special teams even benefit because overall athleticism improves. If the Cowboys truly surround him with elite weapons, elite protection, and a dominant defense, then the excuses disappear. It becomes simple. Win or face the consequences. This could be the most pivotal offseason of the Dak era. Ownership understands that patience is wearing thin. Fans are passionate, they're loyal, but they demand results. Signing 6-star players would send a message to the league that Dallas is done waiting. Let's imagine the best-case scenario. The Cowboys land a star corner, a dominant defensive tackle, a Pro Bowl wide receiver, a veteran offensive lineman, a versatile running back, and a rotational pass rusher. Suddenly, this roster looks complete, balanced, deep, explosive. Defensive coordinators struggle to find weaknesses. Offensive coordinators can't exploit mismatches. Special teams even benefit because overall athleticism improves. The timing also matters. The draft class this year has strengths at specific positions. If Dallas addresses certain needs in free agency, it frees them up to draft the best player available instead of reaching. That's how you build sustained success. Smart free agency combined with disciplined drafting. There's also a psychological element here. When a franchise shows it's willing to invest heavily in winning, it energizes the entire building. Players train harder. Coaches feel empowered. The fan base rallies. Momentum becomes real. But let's not ignore the reality. 6-star signings would require sacrifice, possibly saying goodbye to familiar faces, possibly restructuring franchise cornerstones. Every decision has ripple effects. Is it bold? Absolutely. Is it risky? Without question. Is it necessary? That's what Cowboys Nation is debating right now. Some argue that incremental upgrades aren't enough. The Cowboys have tried minor tweaks before. It hasn't delivered championships. Maybe it's time for a major swing. Others argue patience and draft development are smarter long-term strategies. The truth likely sits somewhere in the middle. Strategic aggression. Targeted signings that fill real gaps instead of flashy headlines. As reports continue to surface, the league is watching closely. Rival teams know that if Dallas pulls this off successfully, they become an immediate favorite in the NFC. Vegas odds would shift overnight. National media narratives would change. The spotlight would intensify even more than it already has. This is the Dallas Cowboys. Every move is magnified. Every rumor becomes a headline. Every decision becomes a debate. And right now, the possibility of signing six-star free agents has ignited one of the most fascinating off-seasons in recent memory. So here's the ultimate question for you. If the Cowboys truly go all in and sign these 6 impact players, do you believe it's the final piece to bring a Super Bowl back to Dallas? Or do you think building through the draft and maintaining cap flexibility would be smarter? Drop your thoughts because this conversation is far from over. Free agency is unpredictable. Deals can happen fast. Surprises are guaranteed. And we will be here breaking down every single development as it unfolds. One thing is clear. The Cowboys are at a crossroads. Bold moves or cautious planning. Splash signings or strategic patience. Whatever direction they choose will define this era of football in Dallas. Stay locked in, because if even half of these rumored signings become reality, the entire landscape of the NFC could shift dramatically. Cowboys Nation, buckle up. This offseason might just change everything.